always told me that it is easy to be bad and hard to be good. I've learned that it's all in the mind. Retaliation with violence conquers nothing, but strength conquers much. Now that I only have my mother, I would try to be all I can to make her happy. My last words to my father were, I miss you. If he could hear me now, I'd add, you are the greatest father ever.
I love Viet, and he'll always be a part of the Beat. When he first started our program, I mean, you saw it in his writing. He was very reflective and very poetic. He didn't write poetry for the first year. I mean, the poetry came the last year of his incarceration in YGC, and then he took it to another level.
I was getting letters from my girlfriends or friends. They sent me love poems. Like, oh, you know, I'd write love poems back. Well, first I'd copy their poem and send it to another person, right? I'd copy and send it to someone else, say that I wrote it. And I got caught one day. They're like, oh, I heard someone wrote this before. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna start writing my own poems. And I started liking it, like, I did it for the girls, like, oh, they liked it. And then guys like it too because they want to send to their girls. So I said, okay, I'm gonna write a lot of poems. And I started liking it myself. Surrounded by written truth, behind most, I sense ignorance. All you say is strong, but it's used in such a way. Bunched up are these letters about yourself and how you are affiliated. Proud to be born a rainbow, love to the knowns, and feelings of disgust, expressed in such artistic ways. I can see your natural color. Yeah, I could imagine my life without writing. I couldn't touch a pen forever, just the rest of my life. Oh, I don't know. I'd just be a forgetful person, I guess. I don't know why, I'd just be a forgetful person. And at nighttime, we don't get to write, 'cause we're not supposed to have pens or pencils in our room. It's considered a weapon. I'd sneak, I'd hide, like, I'd write at night. You know, if the light comes through my window, I just get even just a little bit of light, just enough to see the print. Write as much as I can, as much as possible. I'd write.
I see lost, kids that are lost, kids who have fallen into peer pressure. They're raised by the system, so they have a lot of anger and resentment, and it's hard for them to look in the eyes of an adult, and it's just hard for them to find trust in adults because they've been promised left and right and everything, the world, and here they are, sitting, waiting for another placement. Here, knowing they'll never go home until they're 18, or knowing that they're looking at some serious crimes and cases.
My name is Alfredo Ortiz. I'm at YGC for some serious things. I don't really want to get too into what I did, but it's just a pretty serious case that I caught. That's why I'm in YGC.
I'm a man who's done a lot of time, serious time, and out of respect for these kids, I understand that they're going through a serious trauma. I have a lot of sorrow in my heart for these kids. I know what awaits them. When I was 16, I stabbed my father in the neck when he was beating me, and it was the first time I was introduced to violence. And what it did was all this stuff that was in me when I stabbed him, it came out, it came out through my arm, and that's why when I was in prison, or even before prison, I was a choker. When I'd get angry, all my anger would go to my hands. So it was apropos that when I started to let the rage out, it went to the pen and it came out through my hand, and it all was going through the hand. And so I used to say that if you read my early writings, it was just violence. I mean, it was just spewing and ranting and railing at the world. And in essence, I turned that knife into a pen and I was stabbing the page. In writing, you never just get on a bus, you get on the 15 to downtown, you know what I'm saying? You have to be specific. And if you said, I went to the park, you never went to go to a park when you're writing. You went to the St. James Park or whatever, you see what I'm saying? You always have to make it as particular as you can. So I'm now a journalist, making a living as a writer. So I believe in writing, and I believe in the therapy of writing. And I always say that what I try to do to these kids is replicate what I did to myself, which was turn the solitude of the cell into a liberating writing experience.
I wasn't really much of a writer, but I mean, I wrote letters and things like that, and But the beat kind of like took me to another level, kind of expanded my thoughts and my ways of writing, and just helped me out. You know, they right there when you write, and they let you know the things that you should do and things you could do, and so it's like they kind of, you know, improved my skills. Spending time away from my family, locked down, torcido, in a little cot, along with 3 hots. It's all bad, I get real lonely at times, but I try to stay strong through it all because I got a long ride ahead of me. It ain't no telling on what I'll end up with. Yeah, man, being put away like an animal gets to me, but I stand tall through it all, through this whole downfall. When I'm in my room, I get to thinking about all types of things, the past, the present, most important, the future. I just pray the Lord has mercy. Pep, you know what I'm saying? I'm striving.
Sometimes I feel like what I'm doing is I'm going in and giving them the pencil or the pen, which is like a scalpel, and I'm helping them pull out emotional shrapnel, not you know. And I never would have had that. I never would have had that metaphor of going in there and pulling out these chunks of emotional trauma that we're putting on the page. And it's almost as if when they write something that happened to them, it has to fill on the page as a piece of shrapnel, you know, falling into a pan. It just, we know we've got it.
All right, let's give Ortiz some respect here.
It goes like this. What I'm about to do is go back about 2 hours ago, around 5 o'clock in the evening. It's Wednesday, March 4th, 1998. I was in my room, cell, cage, whatever you want to call it. Cell, cage, whatever you want to call it. I was so bored. I tried to lay back, but I was tired of laying there. I picked up a book, but I didn't feel like reading. I picked up the Bible and read a little of Revelations. I put the Bible down. I started walking around this little old room, took off my shirt and started to hit some push-ups. Finally, I got up and stood on the bed looking out this thick window. That's when I saw something very beautiful. It was the sunset. It was red, orange, with beautiful baby blue all around it with the little patches of sky I was able to see. It's mainly how the beautiful view was there from such a lonely and cold place. Looking up at the sky, whether it be day or night, it always makes me wonder, do G's get to go to heaven?